Welcome to a
Yeah.
special Thursday edition of Another Dry Run. I'm your host, Samantha Paige, and with me, as always, is my co-host telling stories from a trans witch, Autumn, and our special guest for today, because we've got a kind of a special Pride edition today, is OnyxRose. Thank you for joining us, OnyxRose. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Pardon me. So, just to basically start off, I guess by stating the obvious, I want to thank my two subscribers who were generous enough to actually subscribe to my page, which is, thank you very much. May God have mercy on your souls. I guess I don't know, but um, with that additional like bump, I had been saving for some new equipment, and because of their generous subscriptions, I was able to rush that upgrade and get a new mic and camera that'll hopefully not overreact and freak out in the heat this summer. So that was why it was such a priority. So I do want to say thank you to both of you. I won't name you, unless you say it's okay, but I would just, know that I have named my equipment after you. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. Once again, welcome to Another Dry Run, and it's wonderful to see you all. Thank you so much for being here on a Thursday edition. And we're going to talk about Pride, and then we're just going to basically, I don't know, shoot the shit. Yeah. That's
Works
what we're
for
going
me.
to do. Pardon my French.
Yeah.
but
Um,
but I just want to say thank you and welcome to the show, OnyxRose. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me once again. I love being on your show. Love
Yeah, we
talking to
love
both
having
of
you.
you. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
We love having you. You always bring some interesting topics and conversation, and we just enjoy your personality and your presence. So we really do appreciate
Well,
you being
thank
here.
you.
So thank you, and especially on short
Yeah.
notice. Um, so we can do this one of two ways, I guess. We can talk about one of our prides, and then have OnyxRose talk about OnyxRose's pride, and then talk about our last pride, or the other two prides. Or do you want to go first, OnyxRose, or do you want? Well, let's go first.
Well, so I have two prides as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I've been to two prides.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So
So
I don't know how you want to do it.
I bottoms making decisions. Anyway, yeah, I'm just kidding. Um,
Wow.
I know. Well, let's maybe just apply.
I mean, we could do
on
the
that note.
compare and contrast since she has two, and we could compare Hillsborough and
Right.
Vancouver.
Okay, let's do that. I appreciate your input. Thank you very much. All right. I don't know what you said.
I was just saying we could do the two prides since she had two prides. You know, we could split it up and talk about Portland, Vancouver side of it,
Hmm.
and do like Beaverton and or not Beaverton, Hillsborough,
Hillsborough. Yeah.
Hillsborough and Vancouver.
Okay. I think it's a
And
wonderful plan. So we're going to go first with the Portland one.
okay. So,
Okay.
yeah, so we went to, gosh, I'm losing track at this point. It was 2.5 weeks ago. We went to Beaverton Pride. Beaverton Pride's a smaller suburb of Portland.
Hmm.
It probably had, I want to say, what, 2 to 3,000 roughly
Yeah.
in the main area,
Hmm.
and a pretty decent turnout. It was definitely a smaller event. Lot of
By
fun. We had, go
by
ahead.
main area, you mean the parade itself?
Just kind of the festivity area. They kind of
Okay. Hmm.
set it up in a park. So you had the vendors and the main stage. And
Yes.
we got to see there were a few queens walking around, which is always good to see the queens at Pride.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
Yeah.
what else? Oh yeah. I
It was at a
almost
high
fainted
school.
trying to
Oh yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
or no, that was Tiger Word
Ah,
Hillsborough. So
we've already
Park
talked
One.
about that. Yeah, we've already talked about that. Okay. So this is the one in the park.
Yes.
This is why the show's on Thursday this week, because it's been a heck of a long weekend for us, and we've been just sort of like, it's been a heat
Well,
wave.
we
It's like 100 degrees in my apartment right now. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy hot.
I,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure we
sorry it's that
both
hot
had
here.
heat.
Oh, is it bad
I'm
down there
pretty sure.
too, Onyx Rose?
Yeah, it's good today, but yeah, it's been very it was like 105 when we were at Pride. My makeup was like just like
Yeah.
dripping. Yeah.
Yeah. That's more our Vancouver side when we went to that. But Hillsborough was at like a big park, and so it had some beautiful redwood trees, and and we anticipated some opposition, I guess, some counter protesters, and I met a gentleman there who I guess is a counter protester. I'm not going to name because I don't want platform hate, but
Yep.
not impressed. But anyway, so why don't you say what happened on it? We get there, we scan the area.
Yeah, so we got there, we scanned the area, and immediately, I think within we walked in the main area and we saw the
Mhm.
agitators trying to come into the main area and kind of mess with the people enjoying their pride.
Yeah,
They got
Mhm.
pushed back after macing multiple people
yeah.
because they
Oh,
literally bear maced people in the audience. There's videos of this on TikTok.
Oh.
which is illegal in Oregon. It's considered an assault because of the bear mace aspect.
And actually, I should
Right.
back up because I guess there was an incident going on right before we got there because I'd interviewed a person, which we haven't put
Okay.
out yet, but a person was involved in the altercation and got their shirt ripped. And
Yeah,
I've seen that person vocal online since then. They are not letting that subject drop with Hillsborough
yeah,
and kind of calling out the behavior because, there was a concern at Pride that, all Hillsborough PD did, even after this group of agitators bear mace people, was push them to the outside perimeter.
yeah. They trespassed them, I guess, for lack of a better word, from the premises, so they can only protest at the entrance, which was like some people, families with their kids, were walking past these people yelling
Right.
things
Oh,
to get.
hi.
Yeah, maybe the other side of the put them someplace no one's. I don't know,
Hey, don't
but
mind the bear spray when you walk in.
you're right, exactly. Yeah. Overall,
Right.
though, yeah. Overall, though, it was definitely a good pride. I mean, there were a lot of families, a lot of kids. There were a number of booths with information and different programs. My favorite are ones who always sell soap. There's always someone selling soap at these, and I love them. God bless them for doing that. Um, and but there's other like t-shirts and jewelry and things like that. But along with it is community organizations that advertise services that they may offer to the community, in addition to restaurants or things serving food that may be, and it's delicious and it's fun. It's like a carnival like atmosphere, a family carnival fun atmosphere at this particular Pride.
Right. Right.
Was that what yours was like, Onyx Rose too? Was it a fun family kind of atmosphere?
So s so we went to 2. I wanna talk about the first
Mhm.
one first, and the first one was, in Athens, Georgia, which
Oh
is,
wow.
where
Okay.
UGA is, University of Georgia.
REM.
The
People do
yes,
twos.
yes, REM, thank you.
I know my
Yes, REM.
geography by bands who are from there. Yeah.
Yes. REM, who I did get to see, yeah,
No.
they're wonderful.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah.
not the Pride in Athens was surprising because it
Mhm.
was a lot bigger than we thought it would.
Okay.
We thought it would just be like a few thousand people, and I mean, it was like close to, I don't know, 8, 9,000 people, and
Whoa.
so
Okay.
we were just like
Mm.
stuck in like there just it was just too many people,
Yeah.
um, and we were not ready.
No.
So
What
we
would you say the
sat,
median age
we
was in
went.
the group that you were around? I know that you don't know for everyone, but for at least what you saw, what would you say the median age was for that particular project?
There were all different ages, that was the good thing.
Mhm,
There were the school kids who were there, and
mhm,
then there were the families that lived
mhm.
in Athens and around Athens.
Okay.
So there was a good mix.
Yeah.
It was family friendly. It just I didn't see a lot of queens, but there was the vendors and, oh, apparently though, the Ku Klux Klan was there.
What?
Um,
Oh,
yeah,
poor. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So I missed this, but I think it was either the Klan or some Nazis, one or the other, whatever.
Interchangeable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think by definition,
But they
yeah.
were there.
Equally
Transient
Yeah,
disgusting.
properties
interchangeable.
of asphalt.
They were
Yeah.
there and they were there and, they were doing their thing. Um, Apparently, it didn't get too bad.
Mm,
I didn't hear much else about it.
yeah.
So that pride was and we drove an hour, 30 minutes to get to this pride. And we stayed for like, maybe 2 hours and then
Mhm.
turned around and drove home. It was
Yeah.
hot.
Okay.
It wasn't our familiar grounds.
Mhm.
I wanted to do some recording, but my phone just it was so hot that my phone wouldn't work.
Yeah, right?
Um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
been there, but I imagine it's more
so
difficult where you live. Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, well, it was hot and humid, that's the thing, the humidity was just, overwhelming. Well, but,
So
yeah, so that was Athens Pride. It was fun, but, not something I think we would do again. Right.
okay,
Well,
yeah. And I've been to those kind of where it's like, oh, you spend more time trying to find parking and then walk to the where that it's gonna be to try and
right.
set up a spot to watch the event or whatever it is, and you're like 12 people back because it took so long to find parking and walk there. I know that feeling, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that was another thing was the amount of walking we did, up
Mhm.
hills, down hills, like,
Yeah.
Athens and, we're in the Appalachian Mountains, so,
Mhm.
or near the Appalachian Mountains, so
Oh, I didn't know that.
it gets really hilly, and,
Ah, mhm.
then anyway, yeah.
Okay. And so the hot temperature and everything, it just wasn't the scene that you were used to, and you were like, "Gonna take off." And
Well, so that was I guess I am used to it in June because in
mhm.
June it's always hot, but,
Right, yeah,
I just we were happy to have left, and we aren't gonna go back. So,
okay. Yeah, I
well,
gotcha. And yeah,
but
no, I mean,
uh,
I've yet to go to Portland's Pride. We're doing that at some point, which is kind of going to be in that vein, I imagine, just, large crowds and everything.
right,
And so I can certainly
right,
sympathize and appreciate your telling of yours because that could very well be my experience too. I don't know at this coming up. I know when
right,
yeah, I go
right.
to the smaller ones and it's more family friendly, it's more carnival-like experience. Um, it's easier to find
Yeah,
parking. Um, yeah, and it seems
yeah.
to be that the urban larger ones tend to cater to, I don't know, people who can put in more energy and maybe have bigger alcohol level. I don't know, but I've never, that's
Right,
from back
yes.
in the day in
Yeah.
Chicago, at least. Yeah.
Look, I'm just gonna say don't buy drinks at Pride, okay?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
see how
like,
people
that's the
can enjoy
great
drinking at Pride when it's $15.
Right. Yeah. That and just its
I
known
don't see how you
atmosphere.
can like, I can't drink outside because it's like the heat and alcohol just don't really mix with me.
Mhm.
It's too much, so I can't drink outside.
Yeah. No, I've
Uh,
been sober for so long, I don't even really remember those feelings anymore. So,
well,
but,
so I mean, so have I. I don't drink either,
right.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I do
if I
remember
were
like,
to drink,
I remember
yeah.
drinking, like, red wine at a pool party in the heat and going, "This is bad," but I don't I don't it's been so long, that's probably all I can remember. Although I do, I don't know, cold beer after mowing the lawn or something was always kind of a treat. I don't know why I'm talking about that. I don't wanna talk about that. I don't
See,
wanna think about that.
that was
Yeah.
that was no oh, yeah. Yeah,
No,
let's not
no,
talk about
no, I wouldn't do it. No, no,
that.
no, no.
So we
Um
just need to get you a nice mocktail for after mowing the lawn.
Oh, I've got them now. No, I've got it down to a science. I got my non-alcoholic wine, I've got my non-alcoholic rosé, I've got my non-alcoholic beer. I don't have any in the house, but I drink those occasionally when I go out to bars and stuff because I just I spend a lot
Do
of
you
time at
really?
bars.
Do you
What's that?
do you like the taste? So, how, is it do you miss drinking actually then? Like, when
Yeah.
you go into a do you miss actually drinking?
So,
Yeah,
kind of an interesting little story that's kind of very off topic, but so when I first quit drinking, I couldn't go to a restaurant and have be seated such that I could see the bar. I had to switch seats with people. I was that bad to make sure I couldn't watch it. And then after a couple of years,
right.
I was working at a firm that had a Christmas party, and there was going to be lots of alcohol and shots and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm not comfortable going to that. And I had talked to my sponsor about it. And my sponsor said, that sobriety doesn't mean being afraid of alcohol, you know, and that you can be around it and be yourself and do things, and you're not afraid of alcohol. You're just sober. Um, and so anyway, so that was it took me a little while, even after hearing that, to kind of grasp it. But I grew up in Chicago bar culture, so to speak. My drinking career existed at the belly up at the bar and in Chicago, and who's on your left, who's on your right, and make friends. And I missed that when I people, places, and things when I had to quit drinking. And so I
Yeah.
yeah, after that, it's been so long, I don't really know or remember the taste of the things that I used to drink. I was very much into bourbon. I couldn't describe for you now how bourbon tastes if I wanted to. Um, and
I just
so
know it smells nasty.
right? Yeah. I remember that. But so I spend time in bars now when I go out to drag shows and stuff like that. I don't want to be afraid to be in a bar. And so I will get mocktails. I don't like the fact that I like sodas before mocktails were kind of the thing and so common. You'd have to drink sodas and
Right.
everybody else's body temperature is getting warmer because of the alcohol. And you're drinking an iced drink without alcohol and it gets cold in those bars when that happens. So
Right.
that kept me out of bars for a while because I didn't want to be like freezing while everybody else is all, getting drunk.
Just
Um
to let you know, Donna Everett in the
uh-huh.
comment
Oh,
section wants to know, do you have sober dates?
yes, I do. Actually, it's tattooed on my drinking hand. I don't know how to show it there, but it's right here. It's July 20th. I have to look at it. That's hilarious. July 20th, 2018. So I guess that's not that long ago, but it's also thank you. It's it's also a very important anniversary to me within my family, and not the date that I quit drinking, but rather the date itself. And that's part of the reason why I quit drinking. So it's a long story that I'll tell another time.
I I mean, it's
But
interesting. It's
Well,
an interesting
good
experience.
good
it
for
turned
you
out for the
that you
best.
quit drinking though.
Yeah.
Like, I quit drinking just because I got tired of drinking, but, like, I had a long and extensive drugging career, um,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah. I love that
every
too.
like yeah, so, but, yeah, I've been clean, and
Mhm.
I can go into clubs now and, like, I can, pick out, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I can get it there and I can pick it there, um,
Uh,
but
mhm.
I don't feel like I'd have a problem,
Yeah.
um,
My thing was is that,
anyway, yeah.
100%. No, no, no. 100% of the decisions I made, well, bad decisions, were always with the drink in my hand. And then
Yeah,
once I
yeah,
quit drinking, I went to 50-50, and I'm like, those are pretty good odds. I'll take that, right? At least now
right, at least I'm getting better here.
right.
Right,
So I've improved by 50% in my decision making now. Um, and so,
right.
so I've relapse isn't a part of my story. It's never been something I've even ever wanted to return to. I've closed the chapter on
It
alcohol
hasn't
in my
been
life, and I've accepted that I used it a lot to cover for my issues because um, I was self conscious in who I was, and so I would drink, and that would allow me to come out a little bit more. But if I drank too much of me would come out, and that was a problem too.
Ah,
Um, and
ah,
then so I had to suppress myself from a different angle that way. But it was just easier for me to meet people and talk to people, and then it slowly, much beyond my even reasoning, became an issue just to go to the bar and drink, and I was talking to fewer and fewer people, and so it had become a problem. It was pretty obvious,
did
and
you sound like you went to AA.
I did. I did. I don't know famous. I have I say that I know God and I are good because God has done wonderful things in my life and has helped me get sober through AA. I have my higher power. I have my relationship with God. And then God granted my
That's
pretty much
awesome.
my only prayer, which was as a child that I would wake up one day as a girl, and now I do. And so
Awesome.
although I was always a girl and I didn't have the understanding. So
Yep,
God made
yep,
that
yep.
prayer instantly true, so to speak, but I wasn't aware of it until later in life. But so I've always said, my relationship with God is good. God's given me some amazing things and helped me accomplish some amazing things and granted my prayers. So I'm, not so worried in terms of when people say that I'm going to hell. Um, I don't know. It's just
I did the 12 steps myself,
Did you?
and,
Is that how you did? Uh-huh.
yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, like, I can't I'm shocked that I did them, but yeah, I did them.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and, I've been sober, yeah, I've not there's been no relapse, and
Yeah.
there's no ch well, I can say there's no chance of relapse, but it's not something I see, you know?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. People have mentioned to me that recovery isn't in the AA manual, that recovered isn't it, but it is, but it's not something I like to talk about, that you can be recovered. I don't think I'm recovered. I know I'm an alcoholic. I know that the moment I have another drink that I will want another drink. I have the allergy. So I try to avoid actually
right,
drinking.
right,
And thankfully I've been lucky so
right.
far. I'm
Yeah,
more concerned with somebody slipping a pill in my drink
yeah,
when I go to the restroom or something than I am concerned with having alcohol at the bar, you know? So
yeah.
it's kind of weird, but true.
I'll
Uh,
I'm an addict, and I
It's
know if
not
somebody
weird when
put a
it's
big
real.
plate of
mhm.
cocaine in
Yeah.
my face, I would do it. So,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
I do stay away from, high risk areas. Yeah,
There people, places, and things. That's what you've gotta change sometimes with
yeah,
your sobriety, so you gotta watch. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Um,
it's kind of funny who you find out who your friends are and who your friends aren't when you stop
mhm.
drinking and drugging. Yeah.
And there's, in a way, coming out is also like that. That's interesting how it kinda,
Yeah,
because you certainly find out who, are your friends. You and
yeah,
I think we mentioned this when we did a show together before with, I think it was neurodivergent, a big panel. I think there were like 6 of us or something. Um, but it was, I did the letter, and on Facebook, I posted the coming out letter, the tradition in the trans community, right? And,
mm,
um, I don't know if posting it is, mainly mailing it, but anyway, I posted it because 'cause I'm stupid. But the weeding out of the friends afterwards is, it wasn't immediate. There were a couple who ejected right away. But then it was sort of like a
right.
slow fade to a core group, you know what I mean? And that was interesting, but at
Mine
the
was
same
pretty
time,
rapid.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, for
Oh,
coming
it
out?
was like, hmm, yeah,
Yeah.
it would like
Uh,
I lost all my friends pretty much like that,
mhm.
um, except for my bestie
Okay.
been around. Yeah, uh,
Well, that's wonderful. That's good to have. Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
uh,
I
it was kinda crazy how it happened. I lost, my parents me and my parents didn't talk for 2 years. Um,
mm,
my family
mhm.
and it it's kinda funny because now now can I wanna talk about my second pride in
Sure.
conjunction with this because the reason why I wanted to say this is when everything started out, I was the queer person in the family, and
Okay.
then my sister came out, and so it was me and my sister, and this is my blood family,
Mhm.
and then my chosen family, my chosen family, my bestie has 2 daughters, 8 no, 11 and 13. The 11-year-old came out at 11 as a lesbian,
Mm.
yay, and
Mhm.
the 13-year-old came out on Pride, at her last Pride, as bisexual.
Oh, wow.
And so
Yeah. Okay.
now, uh, like, all these queer
Now it's a
people in
crew.
my little circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I'm proud um, that my bestie gave them space
Mhm.
to come out,
Yeah.
and not feel awkward about it.
I
And
Yeah.
to be so young and to be so sure and, um, to to not be scared to come out to
Mhm.
your mother is great. She's an only parent, so,
Yeah.
to be able to do that is great. Yeah.
I
And
know.
so, that being said, that pride we went to, it was the Smyrna Pride. It was really family friendly, and, like, we had a great time. The girls had a great time. They couldn't wait for this pride. They've been waiting all year for this
Mhm.
pride.
Yeah.
So, and now they're waiting, the waiting begins for the Smyrna Pride for next year. And
Right.
so,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be great for me to see them grow up.
Yeah.
And, I've known them since they were like little babies.
Wow. Yeah, that's
So
wonderful.
it's
Yeah, beautiful.
it's
Yeah,
yeah. I'm just yeah,
yeah. It's always amazed me because, I'm older, right? And I hear a lot of people from my generation, maybe an older generation from mine, saying, how can a child know at that age? And it's sort of like the
right,
problem of not being able to you can't walk in the same river twice, right? Maybe the same location, but the water's always different. And just because it was when
right,
you were a child, it was so unheard of or so different, and you can't imagine a child seeing it or hearing it. Children today are in a different river, or at least it's different water. Their social context, what's available, their understanding, the familiarity with it in general culture makes it makes
right,
people much more aware. I became
right,
exposed to homosexuality through a TV show. Soap was the first show I got to watch. There was a 30-minute comedy on a weeknight, so I was allowed to watch it. And had my
right,
parents, not been doing their thing, maybe but anyway, but it
But
exposed me to homosexuality, and it broadened my world, and then it gave context to the news stories that I would see when I would watch the Walter Cronkite on the evening news, right, at night. As the, gay rights movement was progressing through the, 70s and AIDS crisis in the 80s. But,
right,
um, so
problem is when the older generation talks about, how does a younger child know? Like they came from a generation where they weren't allowed to have opinions. I mean, you
there's
know,
just
right,
so much more
right.
there
kids
now
are to
than
be
there was
seen and
back
not
then.
heard. Like that was said all the time in Texas. Kids are to be seen and not heard.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Right,
yeah, yep,
right,
that was I was, the dog and I were both basically just, affectations and stuff like that no, I'm kidding. My family life wasn't like that. But, it's yeah, just kids know more now. It's just a different environment, and you can't measure the current sphere by what you remember from the '50s or early '60s, and there were queer and gay people then back then too. You just probably weren't the
right,
type that would
right,
know them or hung out in those kind of places, but we've always been here. Anyway,
right.
off of my high horse
No,
probably.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
so
I
so
like it.
yeah, well, I rocked back in my chair and I didn't fall over. This is almost gonna work. I think I didn't kick
We didn't
anything. I
lose
didn't
her.
hold the whole thing down with my foot when I did it. This is like, yay! I love my subscribers. No. This is fantastic. I've kicked my camera phone so many times when I was on the phone. Um, God, anyway. I think were we in the green room when I was telling you the story about when I was on the Fucked Up Friday podcast? We were in the green room right then. I'm not saying the same story twice, hopefully. Well, the listeners, but
No.
my second podcast on Substack was on Fucked Up Friday, and it was wonderful being on that show. But I like dropped my phone twice during it was it was horrible. It was a disaster. But they were so gracious, and they had me back later. So, but it was a lot of fun. And then anyway, so I've slowly gotten some stuff, and then finally it helped. Anyway, so again, I want to go back to our pride. I lost the thread there. Sorry, folks. I want to go back to our
Yeah,
pride
no,
because
sorry.
we had the Vancouver Pride. We went to the block party and we had a table. We had a booth. We boothed for the first time at a pride. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
you're missing the part
fancy.
that we had to wake up at 5 o'clock that morning. I think we're missing
Yes,
that part.
Oh.
yes, because I stacked the day. um, we agreed to interview Brent Heinrich, at an ungodly hour. He was a good sport about doing it because we both had to be at events that day. And and I actually had to call in someone to help so that I got a good sound. So we actually woke someone up else very early to come in and do that with us. So I
Mm.
appreciate Jason Hassling the Paranormal, and so thank you so much, Jason. But part of the team now, just like Hawkeye. I've
He's
roped
been
them in. They don't
adopted.
have a choice. They don't have a choice. They're part of the team. But anyway, so it was a very early morning, and it was very early to come up with questions to ask this serious candidate for Congress. But he was very gracious, and we got some interesting conversations. And then we went to Pride, and then we set up our booth. We boothed it in like 100-degree weather. It was hot on that
Yeah,
stuff.
I'll never forget that phone call. So that week, Samantha calls me like last minute. It was like, "Hey, we got a booth," and I was like, "Cool." And we're doing an Ask a Trans Person anything, and I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah, we did a weird trans ask
That's
us
funny.
anything booth, and so
No, normally I'm the one coming up with the crazy schemes here, so I got kind of caught off guard with that. I'm like, "Okay, sure, in Vancouver, all right."
right, yeah,
How
yeah.
did it go?
Yeah, so we were also there for the radio station. So we had some, signage up for the KXRW, the radio station, so and answering questions about that. But we also had another sign that said, "We're trans, ask us anything." And when we first set up with the radio stuff, some people would come over and ask us what's going on, and uh, and then I hung up the sign, and then all of a sudden it was like people would walk by faster. Oh no, I moved my mic.
Right.
Yeah, what happened? Then people would walk by faster. But that only lasted for like maybe 20 minutes or so. And then all of a sudden, this lovely woman with her caregiver rolled up in a wheelchair, and we had a very interesting conversation about her experiences and what she knew as a lesbian. And then there was a line actually for a few minutes. Um,
That's excellent.
yeah, yeah, and I think the most touching was that I had a young trans man come up who was having issues with his family about uh, his older sister, had come out as a lesbian, and the family didn't take it well. And and he was, in his last year of high school, and he wanted to have a more honest and open relationship with his parents, but he was afraid of having a similar experience, I guess, for lack of a better word, as mine, of being kicked out.
Right.
And so
Right.
that was a very difficult conversation to have because, he asked me what would I do in that, in that situation. And so, I mean, I never had an opportunity to come out to my father. He found my ears were pierced and searched my room. So, um, and then I was out, and so I never really had that conversation until much later in life, and that was through the letter. And I guess that's when he got that letter. He was very upset, and said, "How dare you do it this way?" And then he disowned me again. I mean, um, just like make it official. Um, and I haven't heard from him since. And I don't, who cares? Um,
Oh.
but,
Uh,
yeah, my mother passed away a long time ago, but, I still have relationships. I mean, I hang out my high school friends live in Portland. I still see them constantly. My sister and I talk, so, and my kids, of course. Um, but, um, but my family just, you know, it is what it is. I can't tell if you're frozen, Onyx Rose, or if there you moved.
no,
Okay.
sorry.
I'm just like, am I so
I
boring or did they freeze?
no, it's a face of concern.
Face of concern. No, please don't be concerned. What are you
Uh,
concerned about? What should I say?
no, I'm just sad. It's a face of sad. Like, I get sad when I hear that because,
Uh, yeah.
uh, it's,
It
uh,
was
it's something that a lot of trans people go through.
it is, and it's unfortunate, and it's highly unfortunate. And I like to liken it to, when I hear the rhetorical attack that we're new because you didn't see any of them in us in Gen X, and they're
Right,
the idea that a number of us were, unfortunately kicked out at early ages. Life expectancy was shorter, and then of course, when you're living on the streets doing sex work as a way to survive because it's almost all you have, then it's a gay sex epidemic. It tends to whittle one's generation, right? And
right,
so it was nice though to growing up to see more kids be accepted for being trans and stay in their homes as a result of the efforts of activists before us. And that understanding and acceptance, though it didn't occur everywhere, at least it occurred enough that we have issues like trans kids and healthcare with trans kids and trans parents, and uh, and the bumping up with mainstream with regular society at schools, wanting to play sports, use restrooms at schools. There were few of us at school because we got kicked out back then. Um, you
right,
know, and so, but now that we're staying home, so to speak, with more accepting and more understanding parents, there's more. I don't want to say friction, but there's more contact between us as a community and cis communities, and especially at schools. because we do start as kids. We do know who we are early on. If
Right.
knowledge is there, if the understanding or the information is available, and with you know understanding caregivers and understanding parents, I knew all the whole time, but I just didn't know what to do about it. That was the thing. That's what kept me in the closet so long. Was I thought surgery was my only option, and how does a 14-year-old pay for a freaking surgery? So, and I knew my parents wouldn't help. So, which was borne out later. But anyway, I digress. I'm so sorry. I'm wandering all over today. I'm just tired, but I'm
No.
just peachy too. I'm just
We're gonna go with the just PG.
yeah, I'm just peachy. I'll be just peachy. How's that?
Yeah,
Just
so it was
peachy.
interesting because when Samantha was interviewing, or well, speaking with this young
Yeah.
trans man that's
Mhm.
trying to come out, that
Mhm.
was also the time I think we had our only agitator.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh.
you could tell he was MAGA without like red blank hat because I
Mhm.
guess he wasn't brave enough to wear the MAGA at Pride. Too
Well,
scared of
Right.
us queer people, right?
right. Yeah. Rainbows. Ah. Yeah.
But he came up to me, and part of this, we didn't have a lot to decorate the table with. So I put like my media camera on one side, my bullhorn on the other, because a lot of times, even when I'm out reporting, I'll still have my protest look.
Right.
And, he's like, well, what do you need that for? I'm like, freedom of speech. It's a great thing. I mean, that's why we have an independent media station here. We're
Right.
kind of promoting, you should check it out sometime.
It's all about communication and participation at this booth about a radio station. So a megaphone does kind of fit in just in general. But yeah, he was kind of edgy and was itching for a fight, it seemed. We didn't really get a bunch of that. There were a few people who came up um, who sort of like you could tell they wanted to ask a different question than what they asked. Maybe it was just a way to test the waters and they were going to have a follow-up, but they didn't ask it. I don't
I
know. Um,
I do want I wish there was a way that there could be a series of ask a trans person and have them
yeah,
be serious questions, not
yeah.
the bullshit,
No, yeah, no,
and then because uh, I think that, once people hear
mhm.
how, you know, average our lives are,
Right, exactly,
it's
yeah.
like, "Okay, fine."
It was great when somebody asked me what my
I
favorite
mean
ice cream flavor was. I mean, that was kind of a cool question. Um,
right?
but, they weren't all, "Why do you think you should use a women's restroom?" But,
Right.
yeah. When I stole this idea to be completely honest from Defense Trans. I mean, it's all Lady Brand's idea, which she does on TikTok, or they do on TikTok. And
Yeah, yeah.
so they have a ask me anything, but it's not a debate space, and and she could boot people, or they could boot people if, if it gets crazy. And we didn't have
Yeah,
that. That was
yeah.
not if somebody went off on us, we were going to have to deal with it. So Autumn and I enrolled in a de-escalation class for Saturday so that we can learn protest safety and de-escalation. So if it does happen,
Oh,
we know
that's
what to
actually
do.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. It'll be fun. It'll
that's
be
actually
interesting.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's taught by a
protesting and
very mhm. I'm sorry, I
yeah.
don't mean to cut you off. Over again.
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't go to protests because and there's a very specific reason I don't go,
Mhm.
and that's because if anything does go down, the first people they're going to
Yeah.
Mhm.
pull are
Mhm.
black people,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna let y'all handle it," you know?
Right? No, yeah, I
Yeah,
totally understand.
uh,
Yeah, it's
uh,
unfortunately the state of America and state of some places all over the world, but yeah, I don't blame you for
yeah,
that, and
yeah,
I certainly understand the obligation that we have, as white people, so, to step up
so
and represent. So, but we go to protests, but I don't go to protest. I go inappropriate clothing and become a liability when I go.
I tell this girl sometimes, I'm like, you cannot wear sandals to a
It's just
protest,
like,
okay?
what heels do you wear to the protest isn't really a really good conducive question to ask apparently. But that's kind of what so I've been to ICE twice and it's been or 3 times, but it's been quiet every time I've been. I've never been when the action was happening. It's like it was the first time was just really cold. That's all I remember, it just being really cold and huddling against a building in like a skirt or something. I don't remember what I wore. It was like bad planning. But and then the second
Wait
time,
for a protest.
yeah, I know. I was just Autumn was just like, we'll go down and we'll take a look. And I was like, I'm up for anything, ride or die. Let's go. And so we go down there, and yeah, I did not plan very well. I went. I tried to look cute, which apparently is not the atmosphere for a protest, and I learned that rather quickly as I froze.
Samantha's
Right,
used,
right.
Samantha's not used to the field. Samantha's used to being in the studio.
No, yeah,
Right.
exactly. I'm
Uppy the
pampered.
vampire slayer can do
Queen.
this.
No.
Samantha, maybe not.
No. I mean, I'm in the Army. I'm a combat veteran. I can slum it out there. I can run around in the mud. It's just I was not prepared for what the reality of what protesting would be like. I had these ideas from the news reports and from television, and so anyway, and it's a lot of just basically standing there in the weather is what it is for
Oh,
long
joy.
periods of time.
Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but then we went another time, and I got some pictures, some wonderful pictures, and one of the pictures became one of my all-time favorite pictures, and we had some experience with that person later on, and I don't want to talk about it unless Autumn wants to talk about it, but it's unfortunate, and so, but
I'm going to leave that subject alone unless it wants to rise its head, and then we'll discuss it in the right time.
there we go. Okay. So anyway, so we went to another Pride. Besides, no, we did ours. So at the book fair, it was wonderful. Greer, who is here on Substack and a good friend of mine, and spoke at the Trans Day of Visibility program along with Autumn that we put on. She danced. They did a runway.
I got roped into a runway somehow that day.
And Autumn did the runway too, and I got to videotape both of them doing their walks on the runway, and that was really
Nice,
good.
nice.
So I was honestly trying to play it off, and Greer, the organizer, comes up to me. It's like, "Hey, Autumn, you're going to be in a fashion show, right? Because your outfit's amazing." And I'm like, "Well, we're running a booth, but what time? Sure, I can see if I can make it." And I was just trying to be cordial, and I was having trouble with the application and stuff, and I didn't even think it was going to go through. And I told her, I was like, "Yeah, I'm not sure if it went through or not. I'm having some issues with my phone." And I run the fashion show. You're in the fashion show. And I'm like, oh, okay.
See,
It's like you don't need the application.
Nice.
You're in. Yeah.
And it didn't help that it was like
I'm sorry,
2:00 in
I
the
keep talking
afternoon
over you.
and probably over 100 degrees at that point. So the makeup that I had on that morning was long gone.
Right.
But it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, it was hot.
There-
And then they had bands. There were a couple of very good bands that played too. And
My non-binary girlfriend.
that's the band. That was the band. Wonderful name. My non-binary girlfriend.
Okay. I like it. Oh,
Yeah, a little
very interesting.
little pop punk, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, I
Power
sweet
pop.
talked them. They're going to be coming on the show soon. So
Oh, great, good deal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We had a country line dance show.
oh, ow, flashbacks.
Yes.
But we did have a show. And then
Do you line dance, OnyxRose?
no.
No. Yeah.
No.
Me neither.
No.
One of us does, though. One of us does.
Oh, which one of you
us
do?
does. One of us does.
Which one?
Which
Oh,
one is it?
not
I
one
have
of
two
you.
broken left feet. I don't dance. I try. I attempt things, but I
You
don't
signed us
actually
up
dance.
for a class.
That was just me being up to no good. Okay.
Well, that's true. I mean, yeah. I'll do it. Okay. I'll be your Huckleberry, sure. I don't have any, like, I dance, but, bop around. But, I've never line danced or anything like that. I tried to two-step. I still don't know how. And it's not that difficult to dance. It has two steps. But,
yeah. I
Yeah.
do like club dance, and that's just basically flailing around.
Mhm.
But I can stay on beat, so,
Yeah. Okay.
that's that's,
Right.
really all that I care about.
Yeah. No, I'm like Elaine on Seinfeld dancing. Like, that's kinda how I do it.
I have never seen an episode of Seinfeld.
No. Oh my
Um,
It's
god.
the show about
It's
absolutely
okay.
nothing, and it
Yeah.
really is about absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's probably a
that's what I
reference
heard.
for yeah. Um,
No.
anyway, so that I'm sorry I used that reference then. Anyway, so you went to 2 prides, and the one was unfortunately just very hot, uncomfortable, and crowded. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
and
and the mhm.
the second one was so good because the girls,
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
specifically the girls, they were just yeah, like, they were just so youthful and so happy,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
really
First
wanted
pride.
to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like, and it
Right.
it meant something to them, you know? And you
Yeah.
could see that it meant something to them, and, it was
Mhm.
they, it's something that I'm happy to have been around, when it, like, really, sinks in for them, so,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Yeah.
it made me happy, and then make me happy,
Yeah.
eternally.
Right? It's I mean, the seeing yeah, happy children always makes me happy too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's nice. And when I saw a few of that experiences or a few experiences like that too at the family-oriented prides that we went to, it was just, groups of children playing as themselves, running around, just
Right,
being
right,
themselves and being
yeah.
accepted, and it was joyful to watch. I remember at the, booth while we were operating the booth, what looked like to me to be maybe a 16-year-old trans girl, in an on point and well-styled dress, but still sort of short hair, and makeup with her best friend who was a cis girl of about the same age, I assume. And they were looking at some of the items. The booth next to us was a face painting booth. And so they were gonna get their faces painted, and I was just watching the interaction and the joy between the 2 and just sort of, feeling wistful about what it might have been like had I, lived in that kind of time
Yes.
in that life.
Ah,
And after sort of enjoying and soaking that moment in, I sort of glanced to my left and my eyes caught with the mom of the trans girl I later, through their interactions could see. And in sort of that moment of locking eyes, I think there was a sort of you know, an appreciation mutually, God, they went exchanged, hopefully, I think. Um, but it was, yeah, it was, it was, I, seeing so many people out, I'm going to make a really unfortunate and hopefully not offensive analogy. I've been to Comic Cons and you see people who have their IP within the greater IP in itself. And they would wear their maybe, Marvel shirts versus their, DC shirts or something like that. And yet they all get along and they're all part of the same community and they're all very mu and so you would see people with, certain pride shirts or lesbian pride shirts or, non-binary pride shirts or agender, but they, or flags or carrying that sort of memorabilia. And it was so nice to just watch everyone be out and open about who they are around everyone and have no one
right.
give a crap. It's just a beautiful day and we're hanging out and we're looking at soaps, and we're getting information about the community. Um, and it's just, I mean,
Right.
I don't know how effective that analogy is, but um, it's just, it was wonderful to see that many different, you know, people fascinate me in general, but when they're open about who they are, it's far more fascinating to watch that authenticity. So, yeah, um,
Yeah, yeah, it was, it was it was amazing, it was a beautiful day, like, one I will never forget, so,
uh-huh, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, with the
also
kids, yeah.
the
But you looking
kind of
forward to next
protest
year too, like the kids, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. Yeah. That's
Also, I
funny.
noticed that Vancouver kind of scared the counter protesters off because all we had was that one religious person with the sign who I couldn't help myself. I had to go talk to.
Right. Yeah. We're sitting at the booth.
So
I
there was
Oh, it
there
was
was one
Oh,
at
no, wait, let Onyx
one
Rose
guy,
let Onyx Rose
and
go for a second. Let
yep,
Onyx Rose go for a second, honey.
oh, there was one at the second one we went to, and, I got a picture of me standing next to his sign where he was broadcasting, but he was, like,
Mm.
way in the back. They wouldn't let him anywhere near the
Oh,
actual pride. So,
okay.
uh,
Yeah. Okay.
well,
Well, thank you,
yeah.
Casey, for the link. I'll take a look at that. Thank you so much. So
So
Onyx Rose, did you said he was using a bullhorn, or was he just yelling, or
he
was he?
was using a bullhorn, and he had, like, a big sign,
Mhm,
he's like,
mhm.
"Damnation, go to hell," and,
Okay, great. Old school.
"Homosexuality is bad."
It's
Yeah,
like an old
yeah.
yeah, it's just like a Hillsborough
Uh,
Baptist kind of protest there.
right,
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Uh,
And so, do they have, like, cameras? Like, some of the protesters that I've or counter protesters, I guess, I've encountered have been I don't wanna call them counter protesters because they're protesting people
they're
I would just
enjoying
call him
themselves.
clickbait.
Yeah, they're just,
like
it's performative rage served on a
Right,
menu. It's just anyway,
right.
but they have their video camera strapped to their chest and boom mics and lights and they're coming up into your face and going, you want boys and or men and dresses and women's restrooms or kids restrooms and it's like,
So, yeah, that didn't happen, thankfully.
mhm, okay,
That's gonna happen at Atlanta Pride. That's when
yeah,
it's gonna
okay.
happen. Yeah.
That will also happen at Maine, Portland.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure. But Autumn was mentioning that we didn't have that necessarily at our Vancouver Pride, which is wonderful. But that
No, it
Right.
was just the one religious one, which was really fun because the organizers actually let me through because
Mhm,
I was walking up and I just identified myself as a member of the press. And I'm like, I can distract this and de escalate. I got you.
mhm.
So I distracted him for a good, and I didn't even realize how long I was doing it, but it was like over 20 minutes. I distracted him and just
Yeah.
kept him away
I
from
know,
the
because I was
pride
sitting in the
goers.
booth in the fricking sun, honey. I know how long you were gone.
Sorry. Well, I was doing my
No, you were
laps,
doing it for the Lord's work. You were doing good
You
things. I'm not complaining,
doing
but yeah, I
good
was counting.
work,
I didn't know where you
doing
were.
good work.
I was pissed. My popsicle melted, okay? Like, I spent
I
so long dealing with this guy, my
You
popsicle
got a
melted. I was like,
fricking
"Man."
popsicle? Where did you get a popsicle?
One of the
I don't wanna
interviews that
know.
I
I don't
land
wanna
gave
know.
me a
I don't wanna know.
popsicle. I get free stuff whenever.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Actually, it's kinda cool because, there was I won a teddy bear. So, I don't know if,
Mhm.
like, they have the little spinners, at the vendor booths,
Yeah.
and my first spin that I spun, I won a teddy bear from a church,
Oh,
and
wow.
Oh, that's
the
kinda
church was
cool.
so nice, and
Yeah.
I'm like, admittedly, I'm not churchy, but, this church was,
Mhm.
really nice,
Mhm.
very inclusive, very, um, inclusive of queer people in general,
That's
um,
wonderful. Yeah. Great.
and yeah, and, just really kind. So, we talked for about 20 minutes, and, it was nice to talk,
Mhm.
about religion without it turning into an argument, or
Is
turning
it?
into
Yeah.
something
Well,
negative. Yeah, um, but
most of my interactions I can agree with that because most of my interactions that seem to be out in the open or the wild when someone just comes up to me, um,
yeah,
are more sort of like, "Let me save your soul," you know? I
right,
assume you've
right.
never met Jesus, and it's like, I went to Catholic school. I mean, I've met Jesus, thank you. I understand the concept. Anyway, but they just assume because of the lifestyle that I've, have no relationship whatsoever with Christ, and it's very condescending and whatever. Anyway, um, but it's nice to find a church that doesn't do that, that sees us as who we are, whether, we may be sinners at heart because we were human, but, we're not sins because of who we are in general by definition, right? And they let
Right.
us, those kind of churches are nice. That's a good community. That, church people are wonderful people, in those kind of
Oh,
environments.
my parents are of the church. My dad
Mhm.
is a reverend, and
Oh, wow.
their statement for me is, what is it? Love the sinner, hate the sin.
Love the
Is
sin,
that
not the
the
sinner.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That's
AKA the excuse to throw
Mhm.
bigotry, hate into anything. Oh, I'm not saying this. God is saying this.
Right. I'm trying to
right, right.
save
So,
you from eternal
yeah, yeah.
damnation.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Thank you.
my parents, that it's as your parents, it's our job or our duty to try and save you,
Mhm.
and so
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
me and my but
It's like the religion is trying to save our souls so we can go to heaven while making our lives, the only life we get, mind you, a living hell for treating us like sinners
right,
for just who we are and how we were born. Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. That's just
right.
absolutely horrible to do that. We all get one life. This is not a read through. We get one life, and you're going to choose to
Right.
attack us for being just born the way we are based on your, loving religion. Huh. Yeah. Make my life better. Thank
Loving
you.
religion, right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I have my relationship with God. My God is not
See, I
that way.
brought that up with the counter protester this weekend. I'm like,
Mhm.
how is your religion unconditional love if you're conditionally telling me how
right,
I have to exist?
Yeah.
Like, make that
right,
make sense.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and of course they can't, yeah,
I certainly don't want to tell somebody how to worship or how to find their, find God if they choose to do that, and I'm all for it. I think that I don't know. It's really God is a spiritual being, and you can't prove God's existence through reason or science, or you can't do. So why are you looking for spiritual things within the realm of science and reason, and using God as your light there when God doesn't go there. Those things aren't, you know. Um, but anyway,
right.
I've said some things about religion today. I wonder how many subscribers I'll either lose or who knows.
You're gonna lose
Look,
all your subscribers.
No, no. It's horrible when I talk
No,
about
you'll get
feminism. I lose like 30 subscribers whenever I make a post about feminism. It's like, I see. That's not something. I mean, it's like I care deeply about it, but apparently coming from my mouth, it's not the best. So, but anyway, um, what am I going to talk about now? I think I've. Who gave me a mic?
well, we got
Damn
about
it! I
2
was so much
minutes
better if
left in
nobody
the
knew what I was
hour.
saying. We have
We
2
have
minutes.
2
Ah,
minutes left in the hour.
ah. How shall
Oh,
we fill
2
it? Let's
minutes.
dance. Let's go to the bubble and dance.
Yeah. I don't have anything to go to the bubble for. Hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. I got this. Give
Oh,
me
you
2
have something?
seconds.
Okay.
Give me 2
Bubble
seconds.
Okay,
dance.
there's a church
Bubble.
in downtown
Oh,
Charleston that has
ah,
that says Jesus never turned away
yeah.
church.
Neither do we.
Uh,
That's how church. You're right. That's how church
yeah,
should be.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
I,
don't know where that church is, Marnie. Downtown Charleston. I went to school in Charleston,
oh,
at
no
college in
kidding.
Charleston.
Yeah.
So,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
yeah.
And no, wait. I know there's um, I've been, I received someone put in my subscriber chat an article about the church and a church in God, Greensboro, South Carolina. Maybe it was one of the first Baptist churches. And the article I'm trying to remember now was wonderful, wonderful individual who wrote it and sent it to me, and it was about the history of how the conclave, I guess, of Baptists are trying to say that women can't be pastors, and they're putting that vote up at the I don't know what they call it, but anyway, I should probably talk about something that I can't remember only half
I can
of.
speak up on
So,
that one. I have plenty of years of experience in Baptist if you'd like the
uh,
Baptist opinion on it.
but anyways, I brought that up
Oh,
merely just to say that
baptism.
not every church is hateful, obviously, and despite where they are with their past or maybe, but people change, as does church. So the river's never the same twice. So um, that's a freaking cool quote,
That is
Heraclitus.
true. That is
Heraclitus.
true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Um,
Yeah, I love that quote. I've never heard it.
right.
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
bring out some Thales and go really old school someday. But anyway, that was the weirdest thing I've ever said, by the way. So, Autumn, why don't we talk about the things that we have coming up, like our? Oh no, what happened?
You wanted
Oh,
the
you
bubble.
went to the bubble.
OMG, we're in the
Gotta
bubble.
give a girl a warning. We bubble dance. Bubble dance.
I'm trying to get it to work. It's not working. My YouTube is
Oh,
literally
no.
just sitting here buffering, so this may not
Oh,
work.
oh. What were you gonna play? What were you gonna
You wanted dancing, right?
Oh, we wanted
You
no, I
did want
yeah,
dancing,
I mean,
right?
I do, but I just wanted to go to the bubble for a minute so we could bubble dance. If you can get it to
Bubble
play, that'd be great.
dance,
Is there
bubble.
sound? Is there sound? We can't get sound to work.
I don't think sound will work. I can try it, but
Oh, don't worry about it, babe. We'll figure that out. We've got new
oh,
equipment.
it's lagging so bad. I do not know what's going on with my
Yeah,
internet, but oh my
Let's
god.
see. Hold
yeah.
on.
Oh, I hear sound.
There we go.
Is that this?
No, that's actually
No.
Oh, cool.
I was like, Onyx
Thank
Rose
you, Onyx
are
Rose.
gonna sub. That is not this.
That's actually got a
This
groove.
is only the most. I went for the most annoying, or one of the most annoying videos of all time.
Oh, okay. And
But
it's
it's
even
not
more annoying
loading.
because it's not playing. It's like buffering. So it's like extra annoying.
And that's what I get for. It's kind of running now. We might be running now. I
Oh,
think we're running it. Maybe.
no, we're not running.
Do you remember this from the 90s?
No, I don't. Or maybe.
Or early
No, I don't.
2000s. This was so viral on the internet in the early 2000s. This was why I do not judge the kids for 6'7" because we had Axel Frog. Okay.
You know what? I love 6'7". I think 6'7"
I
was a
love
wonderful
6'7"
thing.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gave like a cultural touchstone for that entire generation that didn't involve a
Right,
war
like,
or a rocket
people are
ship
just
blowing up or a building collapsing. Yeah, it gave them something they can all be a
I
part of
just
and
used to.
remember.
Even people from our generation, though, they would sit there and complain about it. And I'm like, do you remember some of the stupid things that
Right,
we
you
did
know,
growing
like,
up?
God,
Mhm.
come on,
Yep,
people,
yep,
don't,
right.
don't do the generational thing. Well, back in
Mhm.
my generation, don't, no.
I no, but I have a lot of hope for that generation just because of the 6'7". I mean, they have that cultural that touchstone that
Yeah,
they're always
yeah.
gonna remember as a part of, so, um, they'll be in,
I
like, their
look,
30s looking at somebody in the elevator who's also in the 30s, and they'll look at each other and go, 6'7". I mean, like, same, same. Oh my god. So Onyx Rose, what do you have coming up? Are you gonna be on anything with,
Oh my
um
goodness,
yeah,
so I am not sure if Wendy is going to be live tomorrow. If
okay.
so, I may
Mhm.
be on.
Good f yeah,
Um,
good.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I take that back. The United States is playing uh Australia in the World Cup at 3 p.m.
Mm.
tomorrow, and that is what I will be
Ah.
doing.
Are you
Yes,
World
I will
Cupping?
be
You're World
World
Cupping.
Cupping. I will
Uh-huh.
be World Cupping, yes.
Okay.
I have not missed a match so far, so and I've
That's the
taken
other
on
football, right?
that's the real football.
The real
Real
football.
football, and not
Oh.
hand egg. Yeah, not
Oh.
hand egg.
I saw you
Um,
do a podcast on Arsenal because they won.
oh, yeah, Arsenal, North London is red.
Uh-huh.
London is red. All of England is red.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yes, yeah, I'll be doing that, and then s with Sturge on Saturday,
Okay.
at some point. Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Sturge will do a live show. Yeah,
Well,
and
you
then
know,
that's really what I've got going on.
I think it would be fun to have you back and talk about the World Cup when we get to the
Yeah,
finals, just to explain
definitely.
it to me. I'd love to talk
Oh,
about it.
God, I'd love to. I'd talk for hours.
Would you really? I'd listen for hours. That's perfect. Yeah. Let's
I
play that so we can run the finals or
yeah,
something or afterwards. Yeah.
I I love, 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 love,
Like,
love.
I will
Cool.
agree to this, but
Can
can
I
we
call
play
it
the
soccer when I announce the show? Dry
You
Run
can call it
Soccer Show?
soccer. I will call it I call it soccer only when I talk to, well,
Yeah, right.
people who
Like me, who
may
don't know
not call
anything about it.
yes.
What do you
In
mean
this
you
house,
can't
we
use
call
your
it
hands?
football. Let me
Yeah.
say
Okay.
yes. Only the keeper can use it, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but it's fun. I do like, I do like soccer, football,
Mhm.
and I do like like women's basketball,
Mm,
and that's
mhm,
mainly because the women are hot.
mhm.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
No.
That's a joke. I like it because they're talented, but they're also beautiful. It just
Mhm.
so happens that there's a high concentration of lesbians,
Mm.
and that's great.
Yeah.
Also, women's soccer, same thing.
Okay.
It's the same thing. So I
Mhm.
when I was younger, I played soccer a lot, and I played with
Uh,
the women's teams,
oh, wonderful. Yeah.
growing up. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So it
Okay.
was, I have a deep respect for
Mhm.
women's athletics, and I'm happy to see that women's
Mhm.
athletics is growing,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
because
appreciate that too.
there's always a market. There was always a market for it, and it's exploding now, and it deserves
Mhm.
it deserves to. Um,
Yeah. No, I certainly I was sports was a punishment for me growing up, let's man you up by putting you in football
well,
or like so I never really enjoyed
right, right,
what like, I never I've enjoyed every game my kids have played in, every single one with all
right,
my heart. But I didn't like other than hockey, I didn't really learn the rules. Um, I did become a Cubs fan because my oldest wanted to be a pitcher, and so
okay,
they were running. I made him run for the World Series. It was the Bartman year. I don't know how much you know about Chicago Cub history, but it was part of the curse
mm.
until they broke it. But I yeah. So I
I do
that's
remember that. That was amazing.
yeah, and
When
that
they
was the year
broke
that
the
my son and
curse.
I decided to pay attention to baseball, and so
Oh, okay. Do you still follow? Do you
um,
still follow?
just once I moved out of Chicago, it became less available to. So when I grew up, cable was around, and you had the
Right,
a station out of Atlanta, right, which had the
right,
Braves, and then you had
right,
WGN,
right.
which you
TBS.
could
Yeah.
yes, and you had
Yeah,
WGN, which is
yeah.
also and that had the Cubs.
WGN. Right, right,
So
right.
so so
Yeah.
you could be in, wherever I was living and still catch a baseball game if you were a Braves fan or a Cubs fan or they were playing a team you liked. Um,
Right.
and I when confronted with either the choice of, nothing on TV or golf or baseball, I would choose baseball because at least that was, and now I choose golf, to be honest with you. It's so peaceful, just the
We
calmness of
can't
it.
be
Oh my
friends
god.
anymore. We cannot be friends anymore,
No,
Samantha.
it's not like I watch it on purpose, but if it comes on, I'm like, "Oh, this is great to take a nap to." Um,
Well, yeah, that's
right,
yeah,
it's
it's great
and
to take a
everybody's
nap
so
too.
calm and quiet. He's got a 2 iron, he's walking to it's perfect to just, like, beautiful green scenery and just, like, drift off, and then you wake up and it's still 2 hours more to go in the match, so you didn't really miss anything. Um, I don't know why I said that. Anyway, so I don't like to sweat, so I don't really like to do any sports related activities. But
Right,
I
right.
enjoyed my kids playing it, and I agree with you. The women's sports, it's certainly growing. They have the
Yeah,
the
like
sports bar, the
roller
sports bra
derby.
here. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
love roller derby, and yeah, women's sports bars, love them. Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and so it's good to see that, and even if it's not something that I would generally seek out to watch, it's wonderful that other people who do enjoy it have
right,
that opportunity. So yay for that.
right, right.
But
Yay.
um, I I guess other than let's see, Monday we have the class autumn or not Monday, Saturday we do the class.
Saturday, we do the class.
Hmm.
Sunday, we have our normal show. We still have to review Tangerine. We're behind.
Yeah, autumn on or Onyx Rose. Have you seen the movie Tangerine?
A long time ago. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Wow.
yeah.
When did it come out? It came out in the mid
2014
2000
maybe.
mid yeah, that's when I saw it.
Mhm, mhm.
I don't remember much about it,
No,
to be completely honest.
it's
I'd have
yeah,
to watch it again.
it's one of my favorites, and there's a particular scene in it that I will talk about incessantly on Sunday, that really stands out
Okay.
for me, and if there's a way to clip it and play it, darn it, I'm gonna do it, but, I could just describe it, which is be just as bad, but we're gonna Tangerine is a I think it's a great movie. I know it's not the best
Um,
representation of our community in some ways, but it's still a very good movie to me. A strong movie
right.
with a strong, you know, trans character played by a trans person.
I wouldn't
Um,
say it's the best
Right. Right.
representation, but I'd definitely
yeah,
say it's very authentic for a lot of people that have been in the streets.
yeah, yeah. It
Right.
certainly has that aspect
Right.
for me too. So we're going to review that because we didn't get to review it, and that's on this Sunday's show. So we're going to talk about some
Oh,
local politics issues.
awesome.
Yeah, and then talk about the de-escalation class because we're going to share what we learned. Because information wants to be free, and we should share. Unless you have the opportunity to take the class from the person we're going to be taking it from, then I highly suggest you support him and take the class from him. But if you're not in the Portland area, then we'll certainly happy to share what we learned. And then let's see. I think we're trying to set up that's about it. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, this week's kind of a
real
chill
quick.
week for us.
Oh well, yeah. What do you got, OnyxRose?
I got training on naloxone.
Oh, nice.
Narcon. Just
Yes.
in case. Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Did you put that?
But it was great. It was nice for them that they had it set up there that you can get.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's good to carry like one in your car just in case, because I
Yeah.
actually had a situation where I was driving down the road and somebody collapsed and I had to get out, and luckily someone on the scene had Narcan, but they didn't know how to do it, and
Right.
so I had to administer it for them. But and that was like I should carry some in my car just in case because you never know, and they're
Right.
small. They're
You
just
never
like
know.
little,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so good you received those. I'm glad they said they give those out. That's great.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yay, pride.
Yeah, there's good stuff, right? You got good information,
Yeah.
safety first, and talk to some wonderful people, and but I guess we're gonna go to Rad Pride, which is not gonna be it's non-corporate, right?
Yep. So grassroots, all back to the original Pride movement. So no corporate influence whatsoever. That will be next Sunday.
Oh,
That's very good, yeah.
wow.
Pride was a riot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
gonna
hopefully there'll
be
be some topless people or
interesting.
something going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
legal in Oregon,
if it's
so
anything like the last one, I went to Rad Pride in 2023, my first year. No, second year moving here, so 24. 24, it was about probably 5,000 people. There was free food, there was vendors, like they were literally food was based on donations, so it was amazing.
So Autumn
Interesting.
has really sold this Rad Pride, and I won't go in with high expectations, but I certainly can't wait to see everyone there because it sounds like it's going to be wonderful. But we have that, and then we have the more Portlandy Pride, and then we have the Pride in the Park in early July, and that's
Wow.
from our
Also,
organization,
Volume Bomb Pride at full volume
That's
on
right.
July 4th
down in
at
Portland.
Clinton Street
Yeah,
from noon to 7.
I believe so. Noon to 6, noon to 7, and
So that'll be 6 bands, drag queens, fashion show for adolescent and trans adults. I think they're focusing on trans, right?
yeah, for the fashion show.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the bands are all female and queer punk led or queer led, trans queer female led punk bands. So that's gonna be really cool,
Very
and drag queens. So what can go wrong?
What what can go wrong there?
It's gonna be
That's
wonderful.
great. I can't that we have something called Southern Fried Queer Pride, which is a week-long
Oh wow!
series of events. Yeah. And it starts the 20 it starts this coming up Sunday. And so one day there's a trans event, and we are going to go to that one.
Yeah.
And so that should be fun.
Good.
Cool.
Okay.
Well.
Yeah. All right. Well, OnyxRose, thank you so much for joining us on this sort of impromptu show. And agreeing to talk about
thank
children's
y'all.
prides and for sharing time with us. We really appreciate it when you show. We really do. So thank you for
It's
accepting the
fun.
short
Thank you
notice.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're my guest of choice every time. It's like we should have a third person. It's like, good, OnyxRose, let's go on. Yeah.
Yay! We'll have to do it again and again.
Good. And once again, thank you to my 2 subscribers for helping me acquire this beautiful contraption. It's got lights. It's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, we're keeping us in business. Thank you.
And hey, we're putting every dollar you can send back in the show. So, like I said, God have mercy on your soul.
Nice.
Are we going to go to Our Lady of Perpetual Exemption this week?
Wait, what? I know that's. I know that that's. I don't know what it is. It went over my head.
That was the church that John Oliver founded.
Oh, right. That's right. We watched those old classic John Olivers. That's true.
You were getting ramped up there. I'm like, are we going to church?
Right. Woohoo. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. I know Onyx Rose has a special send off that I love when you do it. So I'm going to ask you to do your send off, and I'm going to jump in with the fingers at the end like you do. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's no trash, no transphobia, no racism, no ableism, no sexism, no homophobia, and then we add in no Islamophobia, no xenophobia, land back, reparations, no borders, fuck
Fuck
Trump,
guys.
and fuck
Fuck
Biden.
guys. Yeah. I love that. Thank you so much. It's so fun to do that. It's like cathartic to just like, yeah, fuck. Anywho, God, it, the reflecting pool is now framed in blue with algae, and the center is like framing Trump's failure with that. It's just
It's not
perfect.
only
Like,
framing; it's literally peeling up. I'm like, you
that's
spent
yeah.
14. You spent how much on this?
I
Good
just
night.
don't
Good night, Marnie.
understand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good night, everyone. I'm sorry I
Good
went
night.
babbling. I keep going on. Thank you for joining us on a special
I'm gonna
Thursday
hit them
edition.
with my closing too, if you don't mind, Samantha.
No, I will.
Keep the
Go ahead.
candles lit, and I will see you in the moonlight. Be blessed.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Autumn. We will be on our regular show this Sunday. I don't know how loud we'll be on our regular show this Sunday at normal time at 6 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk a little bit about the news, and we'll talk about some other events. And we're going to review the movie Tangerine, which is on Hulu, I believe. You can see it on other streaming services too, I think. Be ready. It's a tough movie to watch in some ways. But it's also a very good movie. And then thank you all for joining us. I really appreciate it, and we love you. You're valid, and the siblings. I hope you're safe and you're loved and you're seen. And to our allies, thank you so much. It means a lot for your support, and so thank you for seeing us and for being a part of this. And we will see you on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Bye bye. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.